Niuminco is a small mining and exploration company. It has assets in both Papua New Guinea and Tasmania. We have gold, copper, silver in New Guinea, and we have tin, tungsten, magnetite and fluorspar in Tasmania. We've had a JORC 2012 resource upgrade, an inferred mineral resource for both Great Pyramid and Royal George in the last couple of months. We have around 10,000 tonnes contained tin at Great Pyramid at a 0.2% grade, and Royal George around 3,000 tonnes contained tin at around 0.25 to 0.3%. We own 100% of those. Just by way of background, Niuminco made a takeover offer for TNT Mines Limited last year. We ended up with 72.5% of that company. They own 100% of those assets, so we have around 3/4. Firstly, they will lend themselves to open pit mining. That's one of the attractions. Those two deposits form part of what we call the Aberfoyle Tin and Tungsten Project. That comprises Royal George, Great Pyramid, the old Aberfoyle tin mine, and adjacent Stories Creek. That was mainly a tungsten mine. They're independently valued at $4 million, all the assets of TNT. To give you some idea, the value was used for comparables, $300 a tonne contained tin. Those projects in Tasmania have exploration targets of around 20 to 40,000 tonnes of contained tin. So you're looking at sort of $6 to $12 million worth of value there on a proved up contained tin basis. In Tasmania, we have completed or are completing 3D modelling. There's a lot of historical data. These areas have been explored or mined since the 1890s. So we're compiling all that. We were able to get an upgrade to a JORC 2012 inferred resource on both Great Pyramid and Royal George without any drilling. That was by compiling, analysing, going through the data. Aberfoyle will probably require a little bit of drilling. So over the next 6 months, we will drill up to about 13 holes around Aberfoyle to try and bring it up to a 2012 inferred mineral resource. We will try and get to a pre-feasibility stage within 12 months. Well, the Edie Creek project is the first and most famous, I think, gold mine in New Guinea. It started the gold rush back after the war, or between the wars, 20s and 30s, and we in fact are mining that very famous old site. It's been sporadically mined on and off that period after the war. There's been no real modern exploration until the last 2 years, where Niuminco Resources, a partner of ours, came in on a joint venture basis and spent around $6 million on a drilling program. Now, Edie Creek has gold. The question is what quantity and what grade, and at what level can we economically continue to mine. At the moment, well, we've been now producing for 10 weeks. The original target was to run at about 1 ounce a day. Over the 10 weeks, I think we've done about 1.1 ounces a day, so around 35 ounces a month. The name of the game is to get to 60 ounces, 2 ounces a day. That's a break even for the Edie Creek operations. If we can get just above that, 60 to 80 ounces, that will fund our entire New Guinea mining and exploration program for the next 12 months. Very little at the moment, Clive. The infrastructure is all there. It's a significant mine site. We've got a camp for 200 men, workshops, gold room, processing room on a small scale. We have sold off some plant and equipment for a previous operation that didn't prove profitable a few years back. So we're trying to scale up a little bit of plant and equipment. We're fortunate that we can arrange lease finance out of New Guinea for that, and that will be our plan. So the capital requirements are reasonably small up there. The May River project is probably one of the most exciting projects in New Guinea. You would have heard of the Freda River project, recently taken over by Panos, subject to various approval processes. We are between 5 and 9k from Freda River. Our geologists believe we share the same structures, and it has some historical drilling that if you announce those results today, there'd be real excitement in the market. So it's got tremendous potential. We have a camp there that 60 men can live at. There's a bit of money to be spent to upgrade, and we intend to have some people on the ground there, some geologists, do a bit of groundwork and try and establish some drill targets for drilling later in the year. Bolobip's probably further advanced than May River. We in fact have 3 drill targets. The original view was they may have to go to 600 metres. The view now is we only need to drill to 300 metres. So the plan is to get on the ground there again shortly. I had some men up there in the last 2 weeks repairing camp, generator and getting ready for a drilling crew to come in. We're currently getting quotes, but those 3 holes up there are our next step. We hope we've got a large copper gold porphyry. The view is we're quite high up in the system there. We're not far from Edie. It's elephant country, so 3 holes there in the next 6 months is the plan. We will need to ramp up that gold production at Edie Creek and or raise through borrowing or a bit of equity, probably $500,000 to carry out the drilling we intend to do in Tasmania and at least the 3 holes at Bolobip. There's a number of significant shareholders. The largest shareholder is a chap named David Fuller, and his business is Nepean Engineering. He was the principal in the operation in New Guinea prior to it going public. Prior to also, just before going public, Mincor Resources, the nickel miner from Western Australia, came in joint venture farming agreements. They moved to be the 2nd largest shareholder. In more recent times I've been contributing, and I'm now the 3rd largest shareholder. So we also have Niuminco Limited on the register. They're there as a result of our takeover of TNT Mines. So we've got a large individual shareholder in Mr. Fuller. I've now moved up the register and we've got a couple of listed public companies. But we've got around 4,000 shareholders. Significant number of those came across through the TNT takeover. So no major institutional holders. In 12 months' time in New Guinea, I would like to see Edie Creek operating at about 100 ounces of gold a month and therefore funding all our New Guinea operations. May River, I'd like to think we've drilled 3 to 6 holes up there, and they've come up with the sort of intersections that we previously found or were in the records. Bolobip drilled the 3 holes, hopefully successfully. In Tasmania, get to the point where we're very close to a pre-feasibility on the Aberfoyle project and move on Moena, which is another project there, to upgrade its 2004 JORC resource to a 2012 inferred mineral resource.